stop and take a little time out with me. Just take 5.
Oh my goodness.
Give it to me, give it to me.
Ain't no way this dude just rocked this 6'7", man. That's crazy.
I'd say 5.
Exactly.
Tuesday, October 30th. It's been a few weeks. You know what I mean? I got 4 with me. 3 with me, rather. How are we feeling, gentlemen? How we doing?
Good.
Good. Pretty good.
Charlotte? Okay. All right. Joey, what you dressing up as for Halloween?
I was Barnacle Boy last weekend. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a fire fit. But I'm playing in a volleyball tournament on Saturday, so I plan to break it back out again. So we'll see.
Barnacle Boy is funny. Barnacle Boy is definitely funny.
That's good ball knowledge for sure. It's a good conversation starter, bro. All that you got to get a good conversation going with the costume. That's
anyway, look, Ian, you got something on deck for Halloween? Like,
nah, I'm not popping out in a costume. I'm not doing that. Not this year.
What do you mean not this year? You're not on any motion? Like,
I got work, so
it's crazy.
That's the motion.
It's crazy. Anywho, let's all. Any ideas since we last spoke about this? A few seconds.
I mean, no, nothing new. We'll see what happens. Maybe I go out, maybe I don't. It's all pending.
It's all pending. Take 5, man. We got a lot to discuss here. Go try and make it quick as possible. We have every sport known to man going on at the same time. It is the most wonderful time of the year, right? But we have a lot of things to discuss this week. 6, actually, it's week 5, but we'll go with 6 and then lead into 7. But all right, gentlemen. So first and foremost, we're going to start this off philosophically, right? We heard about the news regarding Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, the Mafia, right? And an alleged illegal gambling ring surrounding the NBA, right? Even other sports have been involved, as reported. First and foremost, your general reaction to this news when you got it. Spend some time now, but anything y'all like to say about these two gentlemen here before we get into it?
I just it's kind of weird and sad. Like, why? And you make all this money. I saw the amount that Terry Rozier has made over his playing career, and it was over 100 million. I'm pretty sure it was something crazy for someone that hasn't done really anything, and to do this. Same with Chauncey too. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's a little silly to me.
Now, someone poses the question that we all ask ourselves when we first hear of something that doesn't make typical sense. Why? Right? Now, it was reported that Terry, regardless of his career earnings, was in the whole mini mil. You know what I mean? So, he had to pay up, so to speak, to those that were, considered his bosses. But that's not really what I want to discuss. I want to pose a question to the podcast, right? Because I just got through talking to Sult and Jebediah Sims, and he just mentioned how he's smashing Wemby's over in points today, right? Telling me that that's good money. He feels good about that situation there, right? But my question is to y'all, because we grew up not always having these same outlets like a FanDuel, a Bovada maybe, to place these gambling bets on any sport that we have. So I want to ask, like, does gambling belong in sports, or should it belong? Talk to me.
I mean, yes, obviously, I think it helps like the sport in general. Like it brings more eyes to it. Like I know for a fact, like I'm not watching half the games that I watch if I'm not betting on them. Like it
Don't
makes
watch.
you interested in it. You said what?
I was just drinking my water. My bad.
Uh,
Oh.
um, but yeah, in general, people want to watch it more when they do bet on games. So I do think it's good for the sport. But there's also the bad side to it where you know people can be a little fishy. Refs. You never know. Especially with things coming out with Chauncey and Terry, and even the Shohei thing was a little weird last year. So there's two sides to it, but I do think it's better than it is worse for sports.
Now, Ian's in the bucket of saying that it's better for the sports, right? Now, Sultan, is it better for the sports or is it better for the sports businessmen?
It's better for the business, but either way, it was going to happen. Like whether or not it gets commercialized, people are betting money on these games, and we live in America, and the money is in us actually having online sports books, and instead of you giving your action to the five families and the what's a name family or whatever. And so let's just make the government make the money instead of the mob. And that's where we're going. But it also that leads to other things. People go down even worse. It is with the government regulations and like the way that the government controls or whoever is running FanDuel and like Underdog and all this, like the way they're setting the lines, it feels rigged in the first place. But it's gonna happen either way. So the government's going to take advantage of that. What is that?
Better for the business. Now, Joey, we're the only basketball purists.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Salt. I think like it's not. I think I'm in the same sort of side as Salt here. Like I think it's good for the business, but I think there's a clear line. I think when it becomes like too much, and I think like I'll admit like I'll throw like $5-10 on a bet here and there, like just for like
Mind you, wait, not to cut you off, but mind you, I only have $5 on the Wemby.
What's the payout?
It'd be
What's the
$5 here and there, bro. But go ahead, Joe.
Right, but like that's my point. Like I think that's fine. There's some sort of engagement, say, hey, like, you know what, like you're not spending like a huge lump sum of money. But I think in retrospect too, like, maybe $5 to us is like more like 1,000 or 10,000 to other people. So I think it's subjective, but I think there's times where like, all right, like you're selling the farm on this one bet, and if it doesn't hit, like, oh, it's the end of the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's got to be like some sort of regulation on it, but I think at the same time, like, like it's still good for the sport. I think it still presents some sort of engagement. And again, I think it's really sad that this happened. If, more comes out about this, it's this, like, it gets some really dark stuff. When, these crime families are involved and all of this other stuff going on, like the poker ring, like all this stuff is just, it's crazy. Like we haven't seen anything like this since like I think his name was like Tim Donaghy or something like that, the ref.
Mm-hmm.
Like that stuff was dark, and I think this is starting to get into like this really like dark side of sports gambling territory. So
yeah, it definitely bring it to light. Like there's probably a lot more people within the NBA, maybe like definitely other sports that are in these mafia sports betting stuff.
So
like
think about what Ian just said, right? Now, gentlemen, y'all know what my job is on the podcast. Like, it's to provide context so we can set ourselves free from the shackles and chains of our own minds, right? So again, when integrity is lost, in any enterprise, right? We're all lost as people. Let me give you a fair example. Okay. Let's use current day events. This is what happens here, right? I checked my phone last night. Donovan Mitchell has a bad shooting night. You know what I mean? Get to work. Man, we gotta have to get the FBI on this, man. He didn't even score in the second half. Like, what's going on here? Like, it's gotta be and just brought it to light. Now we don't know what's real and what's false. The integrity of the sport that we love, regardless of which one it is, women's basketball, NBA, college, high school, it's been long. We don't know what's real anymore, right?
Well, I mean, we never did.
Throwing the ball out of bounds. Is it because he's just bad? Can't see? Or is it because there's a line and somebody pulling the strings from behind the scenes, right? Like a payday.
Dude, but the FBI making this statement and hitting folks with the RICO will deter, people with a brain from throwing game. Like, you act too crazy and you can't even, like, I don't know, like, you can't text people. They have your phone conversation, they have your text receipts. You know what I'm saying? They have all the bet volume too. Like, you play too insane and a crazy amount of people take your under, they know that it's flagged. So if you have any sort of sense and you want to make money, then you wouldn't do this. So, I have a little bit of faith in that, at least.
I think there's a very fine line between if you're an NBA player like Terry Rozier, and Jonte Porter will bring that up too a little bit, but like, I think there's a fine line with saying, like, hey, like, I don't feel like my knee is good to go tonight. Like, I'm, I feel like, crap, versus like, oh, I'm going to leave in the second quarter. I'm going to like get an injury. You know what I mean? Like, there's a fine line there. And I think, again, Sultan brought up a very good point. Like, you can only go so much, and you can, like, then it gets too crazy to where, hey, like, if you slip up even just the slightest, like the most, like, like, you're under that.
Right. So this is what you're telling me. I'm going to put this in different times. Right. What you're saying is there's no more El Chapo. Right. But we still have drug dealers in every corner and corridor that have not been caught in their daily endeavors yet, is what we're saying. Right?
I think so, yeah.
So it's just like, to me, it's all bad. There's nothing good about this, and I personally don't believe it belongs at all. Like, I understand the money. Like, you can't argue with money, not in America. We get that, right? But when we talk about the integrity of the game, some of these guys out here just trying to make a way, and then their teammate next to them will throw it for a bag, like throw the game for a bag. It's hard to watch. This is deeply disturbing that we're seeing this happen at such a scale while we have gambling in the position that it is. That's my last point I'd like to make.
But like Sultan said, yeah, it's a business, so I don't ever see the betting ever going away. Like, they might take away like betting props, like overs and unders for certain players. Like, I don't know, just to minimize it a little, but I don't think they'll ever like take it away completely. Like, there's just too much money involved for all the leagues.
It's too much money. Anywho, I've made my point about this, but anything else before we move on?
I'm just saying, like, if the Hornets kind of knew about this whole Terry Rozier situation before they went and traded him, I feel like they got to be punished in some capacity, right?
I mean,
they probably can improve it.
Yeah, like, what? Punish how? Like, punish for what exactly?
Like, take away their picks, just something.
There's something that could be done for that, but it just remains to be seen through litigation. But
The Hornets are definitely they're pleading dumb, but
like that's a
yeah,
bad
nothing to do
faith
with
deal, bro. Like they made a deal in bad faith. Like there's laws in place for that. Like you know what I'm saying. We'll just see what happens there.
I mean, hey, yeah, we will definitely have to see what happens, but yeah, that's tough. It's definitely tough. That take 5, man. That take 5. So we're gonna switch gears just a little bit here. All right, we're gonna talk about some NFL football. Right, going into week whatever it is. It's been a long time, but we're really and truly in the middle of the NFL regular season. So we've got a firm grasp, Boz, of how every team is looking. Right, there's been a lot of injuries across the league that we can discuss, but Ian wanted us to discuss here, right, who we think is at the top in each conference, right, and why. So, Ian, I'm gonna let you take it away, bro. How you want to do this?
Y'all can go first. Just let me know who you think is the best in each conference. First, you can give me your AFC team. Tell us why you think they're the best and why you think they're gonna make it all the way, possibly, and same for the NFC. So, Sultan, who do you think? Who do you got?
It's about to get dark.
Honestly, looking at it, I am gonna go Indianapolis is my favorite right now. Indianapolis has the best offense to me when I look at it. O-line, weapons, quarterback play, running back play is out of this world. Like their running game is unbelievable, and they have a great running O-line. It's very difficult for people to stop them. I'm not really all the way familiar with their defense, but they're good enough to be 6-1 now, 7-1,
7-1,
7-1, and man, and I'm not one of those Giants fans that wanted the downfall of Daniel Jones and hated him so much. I am happy for bro that he got to be in a good situation and we got to see what he could do. So
just stop it,
Daniel Jones.
Just stop it, bro.
And no, I mean, anyway. And then the NFC, I would have to go. It's a 3-way tie between Detroit, the Eagles, and the Bucks, I'd say. Any of those 3 teams, I think, could win the NFC. Detroit, they have the continuity as well as the Eagles. Like they have a really good team and they've built well around each other and they've been there. And but the Bucks, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of Bucks folks that just got hurt and I'm not all the way sure. But Bakers look really good. The wide receivers look really good. Their defense looked okay. So, but out of the 3, I guess I would take the Eagles just because, I mean, they have everybody, offense, defense.
What about the Packers? Jordan Love has been playing really good, and they got Micah going crazy.
I would put them 4 after those teams. I'd put them 4 after the Bucks, or maybe they could interchange with the Bucks at 3. I don't know. I haven't all the way been tapped into the Packers, but we'll see.
No, that's fair. Bucks are probably a little bit better. Or they
I
probably
like
about
the Rams too, but I don't know. They've lost a couple, and is Puka out? Like
he should be back this week. He's
should be back.
He's limited in practice, but like usually when he's on track to play, he usually plays. So
Yeah, but I just don't know how I feel about them after all their injuries. But yeah, Eagles, Lions, and Bucks for the NFC, I'd say, in that order.
Interesting take. I'll get in here. If we're talking the AFC, right? We're just looking at a bunch of teams that should be good, but were ravaged with injury. Baltimore, like we can't call them out in good faith. Bengals, we can't call them in good faith. You picked the Colts.
I did pick the Colts.
You know who you want to pick, Morgan? Like, just say it. Just say the name. Say
I,
the name.
one thing, bro, before we do this, like, who have the Chiefs lost to?
The Eagles, and what team on there? Oh, the Jaguars, I think.
Yeah, lost to the Jaguars
Eagles and Bill. No, not Bills.
and the Chargers.
Chargers.
I
Yeah.
see.
No, those are all three good teams, I think.
I mean, they're good teams. You never want to count them out. We can't deny what we're seeing out of the Indiana Colts. Shout out Indiana Jones, John Taylor. Like we see what they've put together. I just worry about playoff football at the end of the day. Like who's gonna make a wave in the playoffs? So I have to give shout outs. Like we can't deny that Indianapolis they're the best team as of now, but once we get to a playoff situation, I'll be keeping a close eye on Kansas City. And I'll also be keeping a close eye on Buffalo as well, unfortunately. Like they got exposed, but when you have a guy, he's gonna make that thing happen. So
that's a bad L.
what now?
I said that's a bad L they had against the Falcons. I don't know. Doesn't look like the same team from last year.
I mean, we take mental illness seriously, but the Falcons, that's the most bipolar team that we have in the NFL, period. Like, you don't really know what you're going to get on a week-to-week basis. Like, you might get an awful team against Miami. You might get a team that looks, great. Bijan going crazy against the Bills. Like, you really never know with them. I'm a fan. I think I'm the only Falcons guy in here, actually. I'm a fan, but you never know what you're going to get. So definitely some tough sledding for them, but still looking for them in the playoffs. NFC, I like Sultan's pick of Detroit there. I feel like they have a complete offense, devastating, scorched turf, right? That defense comes to play with complementary football. It's hard stopping that team. So I'm going to go with Detroit there. The Eagles, there's many questions about the Eagles.
I mean, did you see we might get Myles Garrett?
I don't choose based on might, if then situations. Like, you know what I mean? Fairy tales. I don't believe in those. Anywho, Joey, what you think, man?
I like the Colts pick out of the AFC. I think we've kind of saw, like, compared to Anthony Richardson last year, who is kind of just not there, and maybe a run first guy, not a real thrower of the football. I think we just kind of seen how much having a pass first guy really opens up the space for a guy like Jonathan Taylor to do what he does. That's why the Colts look good with Joe Flacco under center last year when Anthony Richardson was dealing with those injuries, and now Daniel Jones is really moving and grooving now, and Michael Pittman's having a real comeback season after the dud he chucked up last year. I really like the Colts pick, but I feel like it's very hard to kind of ignore this Bills team and Josh Allen. But I mean, I don't really know. Chiefs is definitely someone to keep out for sure. They got Pat Mahomes. I don't know. I'm just a little skeptical on their ceiling, just a little bit, but definitely can't bet against Mahomes for sure. But I've got the Colts. You know what? I've got the Colts. They've looked like a very good all around team this year. NFC. I'm not bearing down. I'm not pulling the Rams sweatshirt out of the closet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know, Morgan, you really wanted to see that. Sorry, but I'm a man of realism. So I'm gonna go with I like the Lions pick. I think they look really good. I think they've got weapons. I don't think I don't think the loss of Ben Johnson has really phased them. I think this team is very talented. I think the offense has a lot of really talented guys. I like the Bucks. I think the injuries have plagued them a little too much this season. Eagles are a great team, top to bottom, but I think I just don't really know here. A little bit of a toss up here, but we'll see.
Hold on. Before we move on, I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't. Like nobody mentioned the Patriots, and I don't think that the Patriots are going to be that good. But the Patriots do lead the AFC East right now, and Drake May, he's at top 3 in MVP.
He's what?
They also have one of the most easiest schedules in the league.
Yeah. And also, though, I was just looking at the Packers' schedule. Speaking of easy schedules, the Packers did beat the Lions, but like barely beating they lost to the Browns, and they barely beat a couple.
They lost to the Browns, tied with the Cowboys,
and they tied with the Cowboys. Like, and then they beat the Cardinals, and that Steelers win last week was actually good. And that was the last game I had some money on, and they devastated me. But yeah, that was a good win. But I'm not completely sold on the Packers for those reasons. Like their schedule hasn't been good enough for me. And yeah, same with the Patriots. That's why I didn't mention them initially. But they do lead the AFC East. They are 6-2. Drake May is playing really well, so it's worth a mention.
That's true.
I think mentioning the Patriots was great. The team that I'd like to mention though is that Seahawks team, bro.
Oh, okay.
Nah, listen, bro. Like, that Seahawks team, I don't want to play them. I wouldn't want to play them. Like that offense is tough. You talk about that boy. Hold on. I gotta make sure I got his name right. Y'all know
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, Jigba.
JSN, man. Just say JSN.
Jigba.
You can abbreviate it.
I had to look it up just to be sure. Like, Jigba is nice. Like,
no, he's good. He's top 5 right now.
Jigba can go. Like, I'm just saying. I don't know what they do. Like, I wouldn't pick him to come out or anything.
It's just Sam Darnold, bro. He's just not good. Like, he was 14-2 on the Vikings. Last 2 games of the season had his worst 2 games. Like, most 2 important games of the season, he's terrible. So I'm not putting my trust in the Seahawks.
I mean, you taking Sam Darnold or Jalen Hurts?
Come on, bro. Next question.
Next time.
Like, I'm just making sure. Like, I haven't heard from you though before we do move on. Like, you differ from any of these takes that we have?
Yeah, I kind of differ a little. Like when you said the Bills, I think Sultan does make a good point about the Patriots. Like they are leading that division. I do think the Patriots are a little bit better as a team. So like I don't really see the Bills as a threat. But that being said, I would pick the winner of the AFC to come out of the AFC West probably either in the Broncos or the Chiefs. Just because the Chiefs they've done it like 9 straight years at this point. They have a top 5 offense in the league. Like they're getting healthy. Rashee Rice is back. Like I think he's the top 10 receiver in the league. Like he's super underrated. They use him very well, like a gadget player. So like it's gonna be insane for that offense. But I also think the Broncos defense is just elite. Like they might break the sack record this year. They have probably the best corner in the league. He's hurt right now, but like when they're fully healthy, like that's definitely the best defense in the league. So like in the end, defense I think matters. So those teams probably in the AFC probably gonna end up in the championship. NFC, I would definitely pick the Eagles, the Lions, like not different from y'all. Maybe Rams. But yeah, I think those are. You said what?
I didn't say the Eagles.
What's the name for the Eagles? I was gonna say the Eagles. I don't know why you wouldn't say the Eagles. That we have Jalen Hurts. He's playing like a top 5 quarterback in the league right now. Our O-line's trending up, which is a good sign. Our defense has been pretty good. We haven't had our best pass rusher yet, so I think we're in a good position, but I do think the Lions are right there with us. They haven't taken a step back from last year offensively. Their defense is really good. Aiden Hutchinson's elite, so they'll be right there with us at the end too.
I'd take 5, man. No, it's been a good football year. It's been very entertaining, a lot of parity. Definitely want to see some of these injured guys get back as soon as possible. You know, we're on the Bucks side of things down here, so we want to see some guys get back, as soon as possible. But second half of the year is where money is going to be made, so got to pay attention to that. I'd say 5. All right. So, gentlemen, we're going to finish up with some association ball, kind of revert back just a little bit here. It's starting week 2 of the NBA. As I mentioned, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Now, our good friend Joey here, he wanted to talk some NBA ball. Okay, so Joey, we're picking 3 surprises and 3 disappointments. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so let's just take a moment here, all right? Because I know we didn't do this before the pod started.
I gotta think.
Yeah, let's take a moment and think about that.
I gotta pull up my FanDuel and see the X's. I gotta see who sold me again.
So let's just go ahead and Ian's weird.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's just go ahead and
got a couple.
Discuss how these teams have opened up. Pause. Again, this is an 82 game season, right? So what we see today may not be what we see tomorrow, right? But even still, Joey, are we going surprises or disappointments first?
Let's start with disappointments first. I think let's start with the bad and segue into the good.
Joey,
I'm gonna
start us off.
All right. I think my first disappointment here, I think, is the Orlando Magic. You guys saw on my tier list, I think maybe like 2 weeks ago when we first did it, or a week ago. I don't totally remember, but I was high enough on the Magic. I think they definitely made a case to jump at the top of the East early. But I just haven't been impressed with them. I think their lack of shooting is not good. I think definitely has been a nice little conversation amongst us the past week. Who had the higher upside, Franz Wagner or Tyrese Maxey? I think I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm definitely having my doubts. Paolo hasn't looked good. I just think like that. I watched that Hawks game. Paolo did not really look good. The lack of ball handling didn't look good. And just the free throws, man. Just straight up, like this team can't shoot. The half court offense looked ugly. They didn't really have any crazy, point guard play that can really settle this team down when the going gets tough. And I think that's where the Atlanta Hawks really took advantage in that game. But I'm just not sold. I feel like I just don't know really what to expect from Paolo moving forward. I think before his injury last year at the start of the season, he looked elite. He looked like he was going to be a superstar one day. We really saw flashes from him of what he could be, but now I don't know. I'm just not sold on Paolo. And I know Morgan's seen a lot of Magic games as of recently, but maybe just one. I have no idea. But
far too early for these talks about Paolo. But no, he does not look great today. Magic are one of my disappointments too, so I'm gonna take that off of my board. Anyone else with a Magic disappointment? No? Okay. Joey, who's your next disappointment?
Next disappointment, I got Jason Kidd.
Come on,
I mean, what do you want me to say? I think the Cooper Flag at point guard, I was a little okay, let's see what we've got. If he must have really impressed in practice and training camp, that's fine and all, but I think you got D'Angelo Russell in free agency just for that same reason. You kind of have to address the Kyrie injury. You kind of have to prepare for the idea that he might not come back the way he once was. And I don't want to be a real pessimist about the situation, but like we got to be real. It's not, out of the question. Like he relies a lot on his shiftiness, and I think it's his ACL, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that could really hinder his movement a little bit. His I don't even want to say like explosiveness, but like again, like just shiftiness, the way he moves his body, like pause. But that's definitely something that needs to be talked about. I think when I watched that Mavs game when they played the Spurs, I did see something in Ryan Nembhard. I think he can be something, but I think the reality of the situation is he just played his first 4 NBA games. He's not there yet. I think he can be something, but reality of the situation, like you need to get him some burn at this. You got to give D'Angelo Russell some burn. I think it's the rotations I'm not a fan of. I think you really need to maximize your main guys. Anthony Davis, you traded your franchise player for last year. I'm not going to get too much into that, but like he's, everyone looks foolish when they're up against Wembanyama, but like just you need someone to be able to control your offense. But I'm very skeptical. I just don't love these rotations that he's really putting out there.
Does anyone else have Dallas on their disappointment board?
Yeah, I definitely did. I had Cooper Flag, but I guess it is Jason Kidd. It's just how they're using him. But I do think Cooper Flag needs to just be more aggressive. Like they have Kyrie out, you might as well just get your shots up. Like VJ Edgecombe is doing the same thing while Joel's out. Like there's buckets to be had. You can get your shots up. I think he also is scared to go for like 3 for 14 or like 3 for 20. But I mean, you're young. You might as well get him up while you can. So.
Stop calling grown men scared, like first and foremost. But y'all mentioned everything but Clay, the Stallion, Thompson. Like, if y'all want to point the finger at anybody, point it at the NBA champion on the team that can't shoot to save his soul.
I've been keeping my mouth closed because I thought initially this was all individuals and y'all were naming teams, but I have some individual disappointments that are just they're a detriment. I guess I'll start with the one that has more to, I'm not going to abandon ship on Amen Thompson. But him playing the point guard isn't going to do it. The Rockets, they don't look very good. This man, Amen Thompson, has not made a 3 in the entire season yet, and he's taken 10 of them. They have him running the floor. Like, you can't stretch out an offense, especially these days. You cannot have an offense with somebody that cannot shoot a 3, period. That's ridiculous, and it needs to stop. And second individual would have to be Trae Young, because Trae Young is shooting 19% from 3 and has yet to make more than 2 threes in a game this season. Mind you, boy, he put up 10 threes in a game, 7 threes in a game. He's shooting lots of threes. He's supposed to have this tall supporting cast, be able to get assists. This man, he's what is it? I have it up, bro. He's shooting 40% flat from the field. Oh, no, I lied. He's shooting 37% from the field and 19% from 3. And it is awful to watch. Literally. Like he averages also, he's yet to get double-digit assists in a game. No, that's not true.
No, yeah, you're definitely
but he averages 7 assists a game. They on Underdog, they be having his assist line at 11.5. Go ahead and go under, fellas. That's my note of the day. I don't know what they're doing here in Atlanta. Like the light skin brigade is not going, it's not going as planned. It looks very strange. lost to the Chicago Bulls. Oh my goodness. And
4-0 Chicago Bulls.
yeah, literally, because
Right.
they played the Hawks.
Yeah, they played the Hawks. Wachowski. Who's your third before so we can get this out the way? This is not even the discussion we were having. But
Dude, no, we were talking about disappointments.
all right.
And then the third, I guess I could go.
Wait,
and
I was
go
sorry.
bullshit.
Sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, Salt. I'm gonna add to that Hawks thing. It's not like my third, but like I definitely had to take a hard look at them. I just like this team just can't rebound. KB is big, but I don't love their rebounding ability, and I feel like you really need to rebound when you're in the Eastern Conference. You're going up against the Cats of the world, when you're going up against, like I think we really even saw, like, just for a little bit, I'm not going to go too off topic, but like Jason Tatum is still one of the like better rebounders at his position. And when he was playing next to Porzingis, I think Porzingis really benefited from that. Playing next to an Al Horford too. I think I just don't love it. I think Jalen Johnson could get there. He was averaging 17 and 10 before he got hurt next year. I think they just need to find some sort of groove on the glass, but that's all I got. Sorry, Salt. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
Nah, you're good. I was just I was gonna say the organization that's disappointing is the Kings. That's just sad. Like, what do you even do from there, honestly? You got Russell Westbrook leading your team in points and shot attempts in 2025. I mean, my goodness. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's bad.
Did anyone else have the Kings on their disappointment board?
I had him more as just like I kind of expected this, so it wasn't really much of a disappointment.
The expectation was extremely low, so I can't say I was disappointed by what I saw. Ian?
Honestly, I guess just the Mavs and the Hawks. Honestly, I'm not even trolling. I thought the Hawks would be a contending team, and from the games I watched, it doesn't look like it. I thought the defense would be better, but doesn't look like it. I thought Trey would be better. Doesn't look like it. I also always.
No. Just go ahead and show them. All right, so I listened to it from something.
My bad.
I listened to it from
My
something.
bad. I know that hurt.
Joey, how many days are we into the NBA season?
Bro.
No. Because I need to understand something really quickly here. We can be disappointed by what we saw, right?
That's all this was,
bro. We can't sit here and act like this is going to be the precedent. Like, this is what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're lucky that Trey Young has a sprained knee right now, right? Because we won't be able to rectify the numbers for some time. It's going to take some weeks, right? It has been a slow start. We can admit to that. But let's also understand this is a completely new roster that we're dealing with right now.
What does that mean?
It means that there will be growing pains, right? That's why I didn't have a team like the Orlando Magic, at the top of my disappointment list. Like, yeah, I expected it to be better, but it's not like the first team I'm going to just throw out there because, yeah, they got some new pieces, right, that they got to put together. That's my only pushback when we talk about this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, when you talk about the Hawks, new starters, you know what I mean? Jalen Johnson ain't played since around this time last year. You know what I mean? Like, we have to take that into account while we do this.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that excuse for Joel on his first game back, and we saw what happened.
We'll talk about Joel. We can talk about Joel. Do you want to talk about Joel?
I don't think you want to.
No, you don't.
But I gotta go in a second, man.
Yeah,
for sure. And what else do you have, bro? Before I take it home.
That's all I have for the disappointment.
Good. I've heard enough largely. Now, I got on the podcast. I said that one of my dark horse teams was going to be the New Orleans Pelicans, right? So throughout the offseason, we heard all of the naysayers mad about what they did with the draft, everything that they've done with their team, don't believe in Zion, et cetera, et cetera. I Don't like what they did in the draft, no, but I still believe that they got enough pieces in order to be a formidable team. They started the year off 0-4. I think they're much better than that, and I do believe that they're going to, arise from that um, trench. Now, the last team I'd like to mention, right, and y'all probably didn't mention them just because you didn't have the high expectations, but I hear things. I hear a lot of things, especially from some people that reside on this podcast about these guys. The Los Angeles Clippers.
Oh, I didn't expect him to go there.
Are you serious? Are you kidding me?
I was looking at Harden in them too, but
they're calling them the unction. Like, we've got a bunch of old men trapezing around the NBA hardwood, trying to make a wave like this is 2013. Like, no, we didn't think it would work, but I did not think it would be this bad because, again, don't we know some guys that say if Kawhi is healthy, right? Have you heard that before? Joe, have you heard that? Like, if Kawhi is healthy, then
that hasn't been a thing for like 5 years, bro. I don't know why
Really?
he still says that. I mean,
for some reason, is it deja vu? Like, I feel like I've heard that within those 5 years, though. Ian, am I tripping?
I mean, that's not fair though.
But it is not fair.
Can't predict injuries. Like,
What? He's healthy. He's healthy and paid in full. What am I missing?
Oh,
What
okay.
does he need? Like,
Morgan,
just
what's
give
your
him time? Remember, for like you said for the Hawks, just give him
What?
time.
oh,
Bro, you
give him
Morgan?
time.
Morgan, what's our two favorite words to talk about during this topic?
Oh man, what we say it was in? Because I had to hit you with this multiple times. What we say, Joey? It wasn't availability. It was along
Injury
those lines.
history.
Injury history. There we go. Injury history.
Y'all
You
are
give it
weird,
time, like, you give a rusty pipe time, it's gonna crack.
Isn't Trey Young? Actually, never mind.
Yeah,
What?
that's better. That's better. You're learning something, right? You're definitely learning something.
Right? He's turning to injury prone.
But I'm glad that we have this on live, though. I really am glad that we have this online. Shout out you, Sult. You know what I mean? Like, pull out them receipts about Bronny. I'm gonna pull out them receipts about the Knicks too, because we started off strong this year.
Bronny. Oh my god.
I absolutely love where we are. We could get our sides out the way early, right? But that's all I got to say about it, though. Los Angeles Clippers, an embarrassment. That's a grave disappointment with all their pieces, MVPs on their roster, what have you. And the Pelicans, 0-4 is bad. That's just really bad, but somebody's got to do it. All right, guys. Y'all got anything before we end this thing off?
I'm a super quick fire, my 3 surprises.
Oh, I forgot about the surprises. I'm sure.
Shout out my boy. Shout out Edge Maxing. I knew Edge was the one.
Me.
Ever since the Bahamas national team, that's an NBA player roster, and he averaged 20. He was leading the team. Austin Steve Nash Reeves.
Yeah,
AR Reeves. What did he have? 18 assists? 18 assists in the game winner last night. That was, hey man, he should just ride it out. How many?
He's averaging 36.
I'm talking about assists. Did he have last night?
I'm not knowing about
16.
this, but he was down.
Yeah, 16. And then one more. There's a couple. Who am I gonna? You know what? I'll give it to a lower key guy, AJ Mitchell on the Thunder. He's gonna get paid too. He's out there going dumb. Actually, they got no Jay Will. They had no Dort, Cason Wallace, and Caruso. Like 2 games. He's out there getting 28 and 8. Actually, like you just look at it. He's pretty good, bro.
You're dragging it, but yeah, he's cool. He's cool. He's not gonna be in that lineup for a long time.
That's all I gotta say though. Shout out them boys.
Yeah,
We're making money. Shout out to Parlay.
Any surprises from y'all three gentlemen, or two gentlemen here, teams or players?
I also had Edgecombe and Maxey. Ian, cover your ears. I'm about to spew some very quick youth Sixers propaganda here.
Yes, sir.
No, but I mean they look really good. I think they've really shown me enough, and I think when McCain comes back too, like I'm very interested to see how he fits in to
And
all of
Grimes.
this. And Grimes too, like they look like very solid. I think I saw some statistic where like I think when Maxey, Edgecombe, and Grimes shared the court together, they were like a plus 16, plus 17, like something like really high. Like that's the kind of stuff you want to see out of these young guys. The only thing that I'm really like thinking right now is, you're still committing $100 million a year to two guys who can't stay healthy. But I will say, to Ian's credit, they are out of C tier. I will say that much. I think they're going to be like they are out of C tier. They're not going to D tier. I promise. I will give them their B tier. I think they got to show me a little bit more, but they're looking really good. Definitely one of my surprises.
Again, though, Joey, it's just funny how we jump to conclusions so soon, though. Like after 5 games, we're already jumping tiers.
Well, Morgan, you're the only one that can't look at somebody in the here and now and realize that they're good. Like you got to wait till they're in the playoffs and stuff. But
Sultan,
VJ Edgecombe is good. VJ
I
Edgecombe,
never said VJ wasn't good. Like I never said he wasn't good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like
I mean, when you have Maxey, who's a monster, and VJ Edgecombe, who's good, Embiid, who's he be here.
yeah, he is.
But, I'm talking about the young pieces. McCain looks good. That equals good basketball. You got all these good players.
You don't know when the last time you saw McCain was, and now he's going to have to come into a team with even more guard play than it was last year. So we don't know how that's going to fit. We don't know that at all, right? But for VJ, very cool player. It's great. No, nobody on this podcast is going to slander VJ Edgecombe. Like first and foremost, that's not going to happen, right? But we need to see the growing pains because there will be days, there will be games. How do you bounce back from that? Like we'll have to see, right? Great start though, great start. And I believe the Sixers are one of my surprises, right? So I can give y'all that. Like I definitely didn't think it would be this good this early, right? But reality always sets in. It always
to be seen.
Yeah, it always sets in. And you got any more surprises that haven't been named? I know you only watch the Sixers, but is there anybody else that you like to shout out?
I mean, Austin Reeves, his playmaking's definitely been surprising.
Better than Tyler Hero.
I mean, yeah, it definitely is right now. But I think they're just in two different situations. But yeah, I do think Reeves is definitely one of the more surprising players, especially scoring wise.
He's like that. Shout out Simone Fontecchio. Learn the name. Fontecchio. Spell it in real quick. Go ahead. What do you mean,
that Italian name. I'm not sure.
What about Laravia? You're not gonna shout out Laravia?
Nobody knows who that is.
Bro, he just had 10 threes against the Timberwolves and won the Lakers the game.
He definitely played tough, but I'm first going to start with Simone Fontecchio. You gotta love it. That's all I'm gonna say there. Any other surprises for me for real?
Can I glaze my team really fast?
Oh.
Can I glaze my team really fast? Look.
I forgot the.
I'm gonna be honest right now. 4-0 feels good. I'm not jumping at any sort of conclusions, but that's fine. Record me all you want. Keep the receipts all you want. But please, I'm honestly I watched my first Wolves game of the season last night against the Kings, and granted, the Kings are not that good. They don't have really high expectations. But I'm gonna be honest, wins against the Hawks, wins against the Magic, wins against the Pistons, you know what that's of substance, right? We had high expectations for them. I think a lot of them are
Hey, let Joey have it, bro. It's a substance to him. He's been watching Bulls
that's something. That's honestly something. Like we can't just like write
He
that off.
feels
You know what I'm saying?
something.
Like I'm not gonna lie, like the way these guys play, like is actually really interesting, and I think it's very fun to watch. All these young guys running around playing defense, like we don't have really like a key defensive guy, but like they look good on defense. And when you have Nikola Vucevic diving for loose balls, you know you're kind of getting a little bit somewhere. I'm loving the way Giddy's playing. You can say that all the memes all you want about that. Like you can't deny like he's playing some really good basketball, right? Bazelis looked good. He had 27 points last night. And there were times like, albeit Kobe White's still injured, Zach Collins is still injured. Like there were a few concerns about off the bench playmaking. Are you going to have to stagger Trey Jones and Josh Giddey as of right now? Because I think off the bench right now, like there's a little bit of a lack of creation in the half court, lack of rebounding, just as a whole period outside of Vucevic and Bazelis can rebound a little bit too. But I think those are things that Kobe White can help out with when he comes back. Zach Collins can help out with when he comes back. I'm not like, and look, and I think Friday is going to be a real test. They play the Knicks, first game of the in-season tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
that's going to be a real test. But I think, like you got to give some credit. They're hitting threes. Like they're playing really well. Billy Donovan has these guys playing. And I'm taking it with a grain of salt because, as I like to say, we're 36 wins away from another 40 and 42 season. So, but I'm loving the way we started out the season so far. So that's all.
You got to put that one on a t-shirt.
Chicago, man.
Yeah, put that on the shirt, a t-shirt for real. Shout out my boy Walker Kessler and shout out Porzingis. He's back. That's all I got. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's cut it, man. Take 5 every week, some weeks, whenever y'all feel like getting on. Just got to stay tuned. Adios.
All right. See you.